Oh, there it is. Oh, man, that's a rager. Right out of the gate, Checkmate, the new Lamb of God single. And they got a brand new record coming out May the 8th. But, hey, we're going to talk about it today with their lead singer, the Vox Man, the man with the mightiest dreads, Mr. Randy Blythe.
I don't know if they're the mightiest, but they're here.
They're looking pretty mighty these days.
I work very hard on them.
Where's this going with these things?
Just
I feel like your mom. Where are we going with
Let's
this?
go. Why you lost to be so beautiful? Why'd you get tattoos? You were perfect when you were a baby.
With the short hair and the glasses.
I don't know why I sound like I have a Jewish mother from Jersey. You know, she talks like this. She's from the South.
She's a Richmond.
No. She's from Tennessee originally, but has lived in North Carolina most of her life.
Yeah.
Sweet lady. I love you, Mom. I love you.
We love you, Mrs. Blythe.
Yeah, that's right.
And we love that Lamb of God has a new record out right out of the gate with, I guess, something that most, and there's the cover there, I think most Lamb of God fans would be expecting. I watched it for the first time or heard it for the first time with Jamie Josta from Hatebreed.
Oh, nice. Very dear friend of mine.
Who guests on the album.
Yes. Have you heard that track with him?
I have not. No, I'm not privileged enough now that I'm off basic cable and here on the Compound Media.
Well, with That Metal Show, you guys were still around, and I said, after my experience there, I said, I'll never work with Jamieson again until he gets his own show, off cable.
Yeah, that's right. It's a little more underground now.
Well, this is the wave of the future.
We don't have to follow any rules.
Power to the people.
You could drink a Starbucks and say the F word as many times as you want.
This is from a vegan-run,
is that gluten-free?
Entirely gluten-free coffee shop and from Williamsburg, staffed by
guys with man buns.
Yeah, and cute mustaches.
Yeah, well, we started a Kickstarter campaign for them many years ago, and boy, are they off and running now.
Yeah, there you go.
After this, we'll jump in my Prius and we'll go over there. How about that?
Just go to Hipsterville.
That's going to do it. So let's go. Let's talk about it. Brag about the new album. Is it your best one ever?
Well, a lot of people, when they get asked that question, they're like, or they don't get asked that question. It's just when they.
I'm asking it.
Obviously, but when it comes out, people are like, I think this is our strongest material, and this is my favorite thing we've ever done. I mean, that's kind of the fucking goal when you make a record, right?
Yeah.
Like, you don't want to come out and be like, it's all right. It's not as good as our third one.
It'll fill time till the next one.
It'll fucking do, And I have felt that way about some of our releases before. And I've never been the guy to give the boilerplate answers either.
Yes, true.
Because I just don't fucking care. I don't want to play the game. I don't care who likes it. But honestly, I think it's the best thing we've done in years. I don't know if it's the best thing we've ever done.
Yeah.
But it's by far the best thing we've done in years.
Well, everything that you create represents a certain point of time where you are. So this is a self-titled album, which would to most people represent what? Somewhat of a new beginning or a fresh start. Is that what we're looking at here?
I think it's. I think it kind of, we've been thinking about kicking around a self-titled album for a while. We've thought about it the last 2 or 3 records because we're old and we're running out of ideas. We're like, nah, we'll think of something. We're not ready for it yet.
Electric Carnage.
Yeah.
No, it's just Lamb of God.
Yeah, I think really the thing that kind of led us to give it the self-titled thing is we're in a place where we're really, as a group, super, super comfortable with each other. Like, super comfortable with each other, with the way we work, and there's a lot of, just trust and a super team feeling on it, which Sometimes in records in the past, it's been a bit more of a power struggle. This person wants this and this person wants that.
Doesn't sometimes that friction add a little bit to the music?
It does. It does. And I'm not saying that this record was devoid of any friction because it wasn't, but for us, we did things a little bit differently on this record. Like we wrote it, which I really like. Normally when we write a record, Mark and Willie, they write the music. Right, and I write vocals and I write lyrics and the vocal melodies a lot. Mark helps with some lyrics and vocal melodies sometimes too, but it's the three of us that write the music. So Mark in the past, once home recording, the internet and computers got cheap and all that shit. Back in the day when we used to demo stuff, it was us with a boombox. In the jam space, right? Yeah. Ooh, let's record this so we don't fucking forget that riff.
Get the Max L, XL,
exactly.
the gold one.
Yeah.
Those sound good.
And then you'd listen to it and you'd turn the boombox a certain way or put a pillowcase over it to muffle it so the bass drums wouldn't blow it all to fucking shit. That's what we had for years to document our ideas. And then when people were able to get GarageBand with every Macintosh, it's free, or other cheap home recording technology, and the recording of music became sort of democratized, which is a good thing, I think. I think everybody should have the opportunity to record music.
Okay.
That doesn't mean everybody's music is good and deserves to be heard outside of their family.
That's right. William Hung.
Because your mom loves it doesn't mean it's worth a fuck. Sorry.
If your mom loves it, it definitely doesn't worth a fuck.
However, everybody should be able to record music, I think, because I think it's good for you. Even if your song, from the perspective of a 25-year professional musician, your song fucking sucks. You know what? If you like it and it made you happy, it accomplished its goal, because that's what we do as a band. We write music that makes us happy. A lot of people just happen to like what makes us happy, right?
Yep.
So when that recording technology came in, that was a long aside, sorry. When that recording technology became available to everyone, my guys were part of that. So it got to the point where when we come to do a record, Mark would be at home writing songs and Willie would be at home writing songs. And then they would come in and they'd have Mark songs and Willie songs. And sometimes they'd fuck with each other's songs, but at that point in time, the records almost felt schizophrenic at times.
Yep.
Because they're two such different players and writers. And they're both fantastic players and writers, but I think the best stuff happens is when they hijack each other's materials, where Mark brings in an idea and Willie is like, I love that song. And then a week later, it's almost unrecognizable. Mm-hmm. Willie has taken it, and Mark does the same thing to his because, steel sharpens steel. And there was a whole lot of that on this record.
Okay.
And it was super, super collaborative. And like I said, we're at a point where as a band, as a unit, we're super comfortable with each other. I think the fact that, 3 out of 5 of us are sober, like no alcohol and stuff.
I want to talk to you about sobriety, and but a little bit later. But
yeah. But
It helps.
It helps
a lot. Sober people get a lot of stuff done.
Yeah, you get a lot more stuff done, and it removes the urge to fist fight as much. So,
which again is not always a bad thing.
It's not always a bad
thing. You just fist
thing.
fight sober now.
Well, right, but I'm 49 and it hurts a lot more.
All right. You don't have alcohol to numb the pain.
Exactly.
But Mark said on this show, and it was cool to hear this from his perspective, which obviously we know that he's been doing a lot of solo stuff recently, and he said that's kind of cleansed his mind creatively so that when he got back into recording with you guys again, he was just sort of a blank slate again, and he was everything was open.
Yes, yeah, and Mark, that's sort of a recent thing in his life, which, he's put out a solo album that I sang on, did an acoustic thing. Obviously, I support him doing other music, and I love, when he goes on tour and stuff, I'm always posting, like, go see my homie. I'll sing with him if he's, near me. I think for him, doing this other kind of different, it's not way outside the box. Some of it is a little bit. But
the newer stuff is.
Yeah, the newer stuff is totally outside the box.
Yeah, it's the anesthetic.
Anesthetic
was different, but
there's a little. I mean, I sang
kissing cousins.
Yeah. Exactly. Good way to put it. The new stuff is the acoustic thing, and I'm really proud of him for that because he just went in and banged that out. He's stretching his wings, and yeah, he's like, you need to do other music, and I'm like, bro, I do other music, but I also do other things. Like for me, yeah, I sing with and play percussion in Pigface now. I sing for Bad Brains sometimes when they're the odd show. I did a tour of duty with I Hate God. I write. I wrote books. I do photography all the time. So that kind of stuff, I have a lot of different creative outlets.
Right.
And Mark, to my knowledge, hasn't written any books or done photography yet. But he's done this other music. And I've done other music as well. I did 2 pieces, composed 2 pieces. Alex Skolnick played on one of them that were commissioned by the Richmond Ballet for 2 original ballets. And I feel more music coming out of me that is outside of this.
Yeah.
I'm also a member of the Saudade Music Collective. I just did a song with them, which is this guy Chuck Doom, who's in Crosses and Team Sleep.
Oh, yeah.
You know his band. Mackie, the drummer from the Cro-Mags. David Torn, who was in David Bowie's, did stuff with David Bowie for Red. John Medeski from Medeski, Martin and Wood on Mellotron and keys. Robert Thomas Jr. from the Weather Report.
And this is heavy metal ballet.
No. That the heavy metal ballet stuff is something totally different.
That's the other thing.
Yeah, that's something else.
This sounds like a jazz underground fusion.
Mackie from the Cro-Mags, Dr. No from Bad Brains,
punk,
and Lee Scratch Perry.
Oh, nice.
So the vocalists on the track I just did with the Saudade Music Collective is called Lions, and the vocalists are me and Lee Scratch Perry, who's 80-something. So, and it's totally not like Lamb of God style, and like I am writing some other stuff with them. So for me, when people are like, I never understand when people are like, why would you do a side project? Or people get pissy about people doing side projects and stuff. I think it's great because, I mean, I guess some people are okay with only playing one style of music. I am in a heavy metal band. That's it.
Right.
For me, I think, like Mark said, very astutely, I believe, it kind of opens other doors and gets that stuff out, and you come back with a sharpened focus when you come back to your main gig, because Lamb of God is my main gig.
Agreed. And this is your 8th album, and so, obviously you want to continue to take chances.
Yeah.
And the only way that you can do that is if you're exposed to other types of art that you're interested in.
I've never understood people who only listen to one type of music and then want to play music, because, you're only informed by one thing, and you're not a well-rounded musician then. So if you look at guys like Metallica and Slayer, all the, Megadeth, Anthrax, the big 4 of thrash metal, speed metal, all those guys listen to a bunch of different shit. Yeah. There's a lot of punk rock, a lot of classic rock, some country, some weird shit. All of that informed their music.
Yeah.
That was how this thrash metal got created. They didn't sit around listening to fucking just Slayer or just Metallica or whatever.
Right. And we should also mention, again, with the self-titled Lamb of God album, you do have a new blood in the band, Art Cruz on drums, which, sometimes when you hear somebody new coming into a band and you hear who the replacement is and you go, that's interesting. Yeah. The minute I heard Art was in the band, and for people who don't know Art, he played in Prague most recently and a bunch of other bands. But to me, like, that was, perfect. Perfect fit. No disrespect to Chris, but wow, what a perfect fit into the band.
Yeah, he's a beast. He's brought some He's not a teenager, but we consider it. We're pushing 50 now. We consider him young.
Yeah, he kind of is. Yeah.
So and I think he's like 30 now, or something. He brings some useful energy. He hits the fuck out of the drums, and he's got skills, dude. Yeah. And he's got a little different flavor.
Yep.
He brings some of that Latino flavor into the mix, some of that East LA stuff.
Sure.
That he grew up with, which is awesome. And I mean, don't get it twisted. That's the other thing. Is like we were his favorite band in high school.
No.
So he listened to us, and it's been interesting to see him, and we've known him for years. Like he's been part of our crew for years, just one of the family, and has ridden the bus with us, partied with us when we've toured together and stuff with his bands. But to see him come into the band and make it his own. And be a member of the band, because he's not like a hired gun. He's a member of the fucking band. To see him be a member of the band but still be a fan is really kind of cool to see, because it's not like we don't. I think all of us in Lamb of God enjoy and love being in Lamb of God, right? I mean, I've done it most of my adult life. Yeah. But I've been doing it for 25 years, so it's not like this, wow, I'm in Lamb of God thing, And you see that in him, and he even wrote us a very nice email a month or two ago back. The guys in Lamb of God, and he's just like, dude, I just can't thank you enough for giving me this opportunity, and I really cherish it, and it means so much to me. And he was really genuine, and it's really cool to see that. Yeah.
And these replacement people have to be, and your fans are very dedicated and hardcore. They have to be accepted also by the fans,
right?
Which it seems so far he has been.
Yeah, he has been. Nice. There's always people that are gonna whine and cry when someone switches bandmates. Yeah, it's happened before. I mean, dude, it's not the end of the world. You'll get over it, and people always do. But that kind of stuff, when people are like. It's interesting. You see the people that whine and cry, and there hasn't been too many of them. It's like, this isn't a boy band, bro. You don't pick a favorite member and have a poster of them on the wall. Where do you, a 14-year-old girl? Get the fuck over it. The dude is a badass. Yeah. And you'll hear it on the record. He's unfucking deniable. Yeah. So live, he's undeniable too.
Yeah. See, I've seen Art played live many times, as I've seen your band. To me, again, it's the perfect fusion. It's the self-titled album from Lamb of God. It is out May 8th. Is it on pre-order now?
I think so, yes.
As of this,
it's on pre-order now.
It should be on pre-order, because that's what you do, and that's all about the pre-order. So get out there and pre-order the album. I would love if you would tell the story, because I was there on the Megadeth cruise. You had a special guest greet you on the Mega Cruise.
Yes,
and it was an amazing moment.
Yeah. It was.
All right. Well, I didn't want you to reveal it just yet, but okay. Explain who this person in the picture is.
Oh, well, there he is. Some of you who are familiar with my band, and perhaps myself, are aware that I had a little legal trouble.
And you can Google it at home. We're not going to recap everything, but
in the year 2012, I'm not going to recap everything. Needless to say, it was a very sad situation. I wound up in a prison in the Czech Republic for 37 days until I got bailed out, and went back to trial and got found not guilty. It was a really sad situation. Regardless of that, while I was in prison, the prison was a prison called Pankratz Prison. It's in Prague. And it was, at the time, 123 years old. And it was like being in a Misfits song, dude. It was fucking gnarly. Literally, there was a guillotine down the hall from me from when the Nazis had the prison.
Wow.
And because they took over Prague and were chopping heads. They were, of Jews and black marketers and political dissidents. The Nazis killed 2,000 people in a year and a half alone with a guillotine. And at the end of the war, they threw it in the river. And then the Czechs went and fished it out and put it back in the prison as a reminder. So that was down the hall from me.
So it's not the Holiday Inn Express.
No, and I'm in the basement, right? I'm in the fucking basement, which is where they put everyone for the first 1 to 4 weeks. You go into that prison to check and see if you're depressed. So they want to know if you're depressed. Where they put you in the most depressing part of the prison. Of course, you're fucking depressed, right? So anyway, I'm in this prison, and I'm in this cell with one of my I had a Mongolian cellmate, and I didn't have any fucking cigarettes, and I was fiending like a motherfucker. I was down.
You didn't speak the Mongolian.
No Mongolian. I didn't speak no Czech either, and very few people spoke English. So I'm sitting in my cell one day, wishing I had a cigarette. I guess I'd been there, 3 or 4 days maybe at that point. My mind was just like, what the fuck is happening? And I didn't really know because there's no TV, there's no newspaper, and the newspaper, even if it had it, was in Czech. I
Wouldn't understand it.
Wouldn't understand. I see my lawyer, once every 3 days or whatever. This my cell had a little window in the door about this big, and it went zip, right, and it slid open. And I see this guy, and he looks really nervous, and he's like, Randy. And I'm like, oh, someone knows who I am. Everybody in there knew who I was because it's a huge news story. I was the top news story in the Czech Republic for like a week, which is a pretty bizarre thing to be the #1 news story in the country. But I walk up.
Congratulations.
Yeah, he made mama proud, right? So I walk up to the door, and I'm like, what's up, dude? And he was really nervous, and he was looking around, and it was a prison guard. And he goes, Randy, I'm a total metalhead. I was at Rock im Park. It's a festival in Germany. Yep. You know this. The viewers may not know this. And I saw you standing next to Vinnie Paul watching Alice in Chains. And I immediately remember that. Me and Vinnie were standing there with Kat, their tech, before Vinnie died.
Rest in peace, Vinnie.
Rest in peace, Vinnie. Love you, buddy. And we were watching Alice in Chains from the front of the stage, like in this area, and they were ripping, and it was just a really good day. He's like, I saw you there with Vinny. I'm a total metalhead. I'm a fan. He's like, you must not give up, man. You should not be here. This is a mistake. They don't understand. And I'm like, he's like, I'm so sorry. I'm like, it's not your fault, dude.
Yeah. He was treating you as a human being.
He was the first person that had treated me like a human being in that prison. And he's like, I am so sorry. You must go home. And I'm like, bro, I'm trying. He's like, I must go keep fighting. And he handed me a pack. And the dude didn't even smoke. He handed me a pack of cigarettes that he had gotten from a bunch of other people. He had just gathered some cigarettes and gave them to me. And I was like, hold on. And I went, and when I got arrested, I had my wallet with me. And in my wallet, I had like my insurance card and some other things. I read the insurance card over and over and over again for a while because that's the only thing I had to read for a while.
Reading material.
Yeah. But I also had some guitar picks because I always pick them up, when we're on tour or whatever. Mark and Willie picks are at the practice space to give out or whatever, And I'm like, here you go, dude, And so, he was like, thank you. And he split. And that was the last time I saw him. And that was early on into my stay in prison. I was in there like 37 days, right? So that was day 3 or 4. Never saw him again. And I don't think he was supposed to be on my floor because he looked really nervous,
Right.
He's
He
like,
was away from his post.
He was away from his post. He was doing something shady to come raise my spirits. And it just meant the world to me. And I wrote it in my journal. And I wrote a book called Dark Days about that whole experience that you can get at your local bookstore, Amazon, or whatever, Dark Days. And I wrote about that experience. And at the end of that experience, when I wrote about it, I wrote to the prison guard, you're the first guy who treated me like a human. And it meant the world to me because it really did. And I was like, if I ever meet you again, the beers are on me. Right? So we're
cut to Megadeth cruise.
We're on the Megadeth cruise, which
October
was
October 2019.
Yeah,
I'm there. You guys are there.
This is a little over 7 years because that would have been in August 2012, I think, when that happened. So this is 7 years later, and I was meeting. Me and Mark Morton were going to go talk to some friends upstairs, and we meet with our friends, and then we walk out, and this guy is like, Randy, do you remember me? I gave you cigarettes in prison. And immediately I saw his face looking through the fucking square.
Yeah.
The cell door. And I was like, oh my God, dude, it's you.
And that's the picture of him right there.
I was like, holy fuck, it's him. It's the guy who gave me cigarettes. And I was like, dude, we're doing a fucking. I was like, I gotta go right now because we're doing a Q&A.
Yeah, the Q&A.
And I want to get up with you later. You know, so come to the Q&A. I need to talk to you. So you know, we go to the Q&A, and then that dude is standing there, and there's like, you know, it's on the midship deck or whatever, the indoor area, and there's like.
I was there watching the Q&A.
There's like 300 people, I guess, at the Q&A, you know, maybe on all the different levels. Maybe it was 150, 300, however many people could fit in there. And I was like, okay, I need a second. And I told the story about this prison guard who treated me well in prison and how, you know, it really meant the world to me. And I wanted to buy him beer. And then I pointed at the guy, and I'm like, and there he is right there.
And there's the hug.
And I was like, I told actually Chris, who's with us, Chris Shields, our manager, I'm like, go get fucking beers. I'm like, how many beers do you want? So I was able to buy him and his homies some beers. And like, everyone there, I mean, it was like a movie, dude. Everybody was like, holy fuck, right?
And that was what, about 3, 4 in the afternoon, maybe 5 o'clock?
Yeah.
By 8 o'clock. He was legless.
Oh, dude, did you see him?
Because everybody on the ship was buying him beers.
That's what I told him. I said, if anyone, I was telling the fans, I was like, if you see him, give him a fucking beer. And I went looking for him. I never saw him again.
His legs were rubber, bro.
Oh, dude, good. Because I knew the fucking people would buy him fucking beers, but people were just like, I mean, some people I saw them tearing up when they.
I totally did. I just happened to capture that one photo because I had no idea it was coming. But they gave me 30 minutes with you. We're coming up on it. So let me just say one last time: Lamb of God, self-titled album, available for pre-order now on Epic Records and tapes. And probably not tapes, but I just like saying that.
I think they do tapes again.
And I had a lot more, so we'll do a part 2 another time.
Wait, are you cutting me off now?
Well, no, I'm not cutting you off, but I want to respect your time.
Well, you're respecting my time. Let's go a little bit longer. Ask me some more shit.
Okay, so there's 2 other things I would like to ask.
Okay, let's talk.
So it's concerning Mark Morton.
Okay.
Who's your guitar player? I'm not saying that because you don't know that. I'm just making sure people at home know.
Is that his name?
He did. His name is Mark Morton.
Yeah.
And he was on this program. We had a great conversation. Mm-hmm. And I said, well, look, there's probably no band that has toured as much with Slayer as Lamb of God has in the last, 6 or 7 years, right? Will this be the last time anyone's ever going to see Slayer play a show?
Why does everybody ask us that question?
You have to.
I know, but like, did someone say that, hey, the guys in Lamb of God will probably know whether Slayer's done or not?
Well, you guys have spent the most time with them.
Right. I
already know the answer. I'm just...
You know the answer?
I'm the predictor.
Okay, well,
I'm the predictor. I predicted Motley.
Okay, well, then let's predict. Let's have...
I'm saying 2025 reunion tour. What year do you think it'll be?
I don't think there's going to be a reunion tour.
Will there be more shows?
Okay. I'm not going to definitively say this because Tom and Carrie and everybody, this is a question that gets asked me. I didn't come up with this. I think there maybe will be 1 or 2 more shows. Maybe for a special occasion, but I don't know.
That's
right?
a definite.
No, I'm going to disagree. I think they're done, dude. I think.
All right. I respect that. I disagree.
I think they're okay.
Because no one's proved me wrong yet. Right. They're on the clock. We'll leave it at that.
Okay.
Second question's much.
$10.
All right. I'll put you $10 on
$10.
All right. $10.
So we have to be by when?
Well, I'm saying 2025.
Okay, 2020. Somebody, producer, take a note of this. 2025
right.
Slayer reunion tour.
Somebody go out and hire a producer and then have them authenticate this bet.
Yes. We need a notary public.
We call for a notary public
right.
or the guy from the deli down the street,
right,
somebody to witness this.
Okay.
The other thing was, and man, I had heard for years and years that the name Lamb of God was, and again, I know maybe this is going old school, but we had a myth dispelled, perhaps, that the term Burn the Priest, the original name of your
right.
band, was a reference to smoking weed.
No.
Mark Morton said, no, that was not true.
No, I mean, it's great. I don't smoke weed. When I did drugs, I did real drugs because I'm not a fucking hippie.
Says the guy with the dreadlocks.
Yeah, exactly. Says the guy with the dreadlocks who's a surfer, bruh. We're all one, you know. Shot
man.
guys. No, I'll play hand drums too. No,
All right, so I'm just.
I think
confirming
that's
that.
great, though. That's the first time I've ever heard that.
I'm using it now as a.
Fucking burn the priest, bruh. 420. Yeah, great. Go. All you weed smokers, burn the priest.
Yeah.
Okay, now, what else?
Now, all right, well, so let's continue with that. I'm not a weed smoker. I just like the term
Okay.
for it.
Yeah, me too.
So, concerning your sobriety,
Yes.
which has been
9 years.
9 years, but this is real sobriety.
Yes.
Nothing.
Not Cali sober.
Okay, not California. So because that's, I'll be honest, you know, it's like I don't care what people do, honestly.
either.
I don't judge them. I don't
don't
care.
either.
I have friends who do this, that, and the other thing. You know, if
How am I going to judge somebody? I was a garbage can, bro. I did everything. The only thing I didn't do was the drugs that they've invented since I've been sober.
right.
I did everything.
But should people, especially in the public eye,
Crack, heroin,
heroin,
meth,
all
all of it, ecstasy, speed,
yeah,
coke, all of it, all of it.
at the same time.
Sometimes, yeah,
And I knew you then.
yeah. I was a lunatic.
And you're still a lunatic. You just deal with caffeine.
Yeah. Now, when you say, here's a funny thing. This is why I hate British people. I'm just joking, England. This is why I hate British journalists because they're always digging for sensationalist stuff or like headlines. We did an interview years ago with a certain British magazine, which I won't name. And the journalist was asking us, because we had a reputation as a hard partying band.
Yeah,
at the
absolutely.
time, and always have, and that's cool. We own it. And we were. But he was like, you know, you guys drink a lot. What about drugs? And Campbell says, foolish Campbell at the time, we hadn't learned the ways of these sneaky journalists. He goes, well, we all smoke cigarettes, and technically nicotine is a drug. I mean, we're all addicted to cigarettes. And so what does the front of the magazine cover say? It says, Lamb of God, we're all on addicted to drugs, John Campbell. And it's like, you cunts, dude, you fucking cocksuckers. So, you know, but no, on that, yeah, I drink coffee and I use these stupid e-cigarettes, which I haven't been able to give up yet.
But I
quit smoking real cigarettes.
But I think if someone's in the public eye, this is just my opinion. Again, I don't judge anybody what they do, but should people be walking around saying, "Oh, I got 10 years of sobriety under my belt," and they're smoking a suitcase full of weed every day?
I think that depends on how they sort of couch the term, you know. I mean,
They make it seem like I'm sober, meaning everything. You're real sober.
Yeah,
you're not Cali sober.
coffee and nicotine.
You're not pharmaceutical sober. You're sober.
Nah, yeah, I don't even do antidepressants. I had to take those when I got sober after about 6 months because I got so fucking depressed because my brain was rewiring itself.
Sure.
I was on antidepressants for about 1.5 years, and then I was able to taper down off those. Mm-hmm. I don't even doing those, you know. I'll take ibuprofen every now and then, but that's it.
There's the headline. Randy Blythe says he is still addicted to drugs.
I'm addicted to nicotine.
Those cunts in Britain better not pick up this story and twist it.
Right.
The man is sober. He's more creative than ever.
Yeah.
And goddamn it, he's still a lot of fun, even sober. And I could prove, Lamb of God, okay, yes, the music has a certain brutality to it. It always has. That's what we love about it. The new album also has plenty of brutality for you. But let's not forget that they're humans and they have a sense of humor.
Yeah,
And with that, I'd like to leave people with a bit that Jim Florentine and I did before you knew us. Oh, okay.
Wait, before we do that.
Even before that.
Even before.
See, you're the producer of the show.
Even before we talk about a bit that you and that scumbag Florentine did with us.
Yeah, completely.
It was the best. I love that. I'm stoked. But, ladies and gentlemen, today I'd like to talk to you about my friend, Don Jamieson, and his latest record, Denim and Leather. It's a comedic masterpiece.
Denim and Laughter.
Oh, Laughter. Sorry, I fucked that up. Denim and Laughter. It's a comedic masterpiece. It's got such hits as Drinking Buddy, Hipster Jizz, and Gluten-Free Keith Richards, That Metal Show, High Def Porn, and PC Bands. And probably my favorite, Gender fluid DNA taste. Anal fetish. DNA test anal fetish. Anal fetish. Anything with an anal fetish is best. So it's out right now on Metal Blade Records, owned by my good friend Brian Slagle. Denim and Laughter. Don Jamieson. Pick it up. You'll laugh until you piss yourself.
Wow.
You like
Ladies
that?
and gentlemen, if we had a studio audience, there would just the roar would just be unbelievable. Well, thank you for that. I do appreciate that. And
I hope it's funny. I'm going to actually listen to it later.
yeah, I hope you will. I hope you don't sign me to Roadside Records after listening to it. Fing, right out the car window. But yeah, we did have a lot of fun with you guys before Jim and I did that metal show.
One of the best things ever.
You guys didn't know us, and but we were friends with the Shadows Fall guys.
Yes.
And we played a little prank on you, and this is you and your former drummer Chris guesting with us on that metal show, and we kind of run through the prank. Thanks for watching That Jamieson Show. Hey, what's up, everybody? It's me, Don. Thank you for watching that clip. Here's some more I think you're going to enjoy. And of course, don't forget to hit the subscribe button.